Hey everyone, welcome to Conscious Creation with Rahjo. So I was asked yesterday in the comments to comment on resolving an issue that I had recently that dealt with being tax audited, and what was my process, and describe the visualization process, how I did it. I'm glad to do that. So, like Neville says, what you do dominantly in your imagination contributes to you shifting in your state and changing your 3D, which that's what this is all about. And even when things look rough, when the 3D is really rough and it's stressful, you can still manage to cut through it and get into the state of being the one who has the resolution, and you get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And it's the frequent occupancy of the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of success. That's a direct quote from Neville Goddard. And another helpful quote that gives you hope is something that he said: the only fate governing your life is determined by your own concepts, your own assumptions, for an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact, and it'll show up in your 3D. So in the state where I live, they just instituted a new tax accounting system, and there's a whole lot of people who are being audited more than they normally would. And last year I had a lot of growth in my business in expansion, and I had a lot more expenses and investment in growing in these growth activities. So I got selected for audit, and I'm highly organized, so I had all my receipts, I had everything together, so I gave them exactly what they needed. But even still, it's a stressful thing to deal with. I'm sure you would agree. No one likes to go through that. But I'm just reminded what Neville Goddard said, and I said in a previous video: your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the concentration of your attention. So with that in mind, I did visualizations prior to bed, 20 minutes before bed. I sat at the head of my bed where I wasn't exactly comfortable, and as I began to do the visualizations, I set a timer for 20 minutes so that I would stay on target and just be focused. And at some point, I didn't have to use a timer; like, I would just naturally do it, and you just know when you're done. I was imperfect in it, sometimes, but it's I don't remember who said it, and I think I've said it in a previous video. It's CCIA, consistent, committed, imperfect action. And I just desired for everything to go quickly and to be resolved. And, I would just keep getting into the state of being in the wish fulfilled, And Neville Goddard says, your attention is directed from within when you deliberately choose what you will be preoccupied with mentally. So I just kept going to joy and relief, that my audit was complete, and I got my refund check. So here's how I staged this. I just constructed a mental scene where I would leave my room, go outside, walk down my front step, walk past the flowers, smell the flowers, feel the environment, hear the sounds, and I engaged all my senses. And what it felt like to walk down to my mailbox. And I got to my mailbox, opened it, and there was a letter from the audit concerning the audit from the tax authority. And I opened it up, looked at it, and it said, that the matter was resolved, and contained therein was my refund check. And then I added to my visualization from there, where I called another fellow business friend that I interact with professionally, and he's also been audited under the same kind of circumstances. It happens. And I imagined calling him and letting him know about it and that it was resolved. And you do give people a script, because what I imagine him saying later when all this was resolved, he did say it to me almost word for word. So you really do give people your script. Like the phenomenon that all of us hear about in manifestation is everyone is you pushed out. Well, there's definitely something to it, and it's really amazing. But just getting into the state and the wish fulfilled and assuming that everything works out for you, everything is happening in your favor, as I've said, it's true. So, just got to get in there and make that your assumption, and have that psychological shift where, it's everything is done, and embody that state, because whatever you're most dominant in, that's the state that you'll be in. That's what will shift you for your 3D reality to change. So when you're sitting down to do the visualization and you're imagining everything, you just have to continue to be gentle with yourself, exercise the muscle of your mind and your attention, because your imagination is able to do all in proportion to the degree of your attention, as Neville Goddard says, and you just have to keep looping it and doing it over and over. At first when I began, my mind wanted to wander a little bit, so I had to gently nudge myself back to just focusing on that, and it got easier and easier. And I was able to, I just kept on going. I don't remember the exact amount of days that it took for all this to resolve, but it wasn't terribly long, and I was imperfect in it. I had a few times where I was so exhausted at the end of the day, and I know that I fell asleep, but you're impressing your subconscious, and you always hear people talk about your higher self, which is, I interpret as God within you, like we're all have a piece of God, and the power of I am is in you, and your higher self knows, and knows what you desire, and you just have to trust and go into trust as you're doing this, and trust that everything always works out for you. Everything is happening in your favor, and just, go to fulfillment, and just control your attention to just stay there. And the part of this journey in consciously creating the life that you desire is, when the 3D is raw, that's your old thoughts, and just being able to not be triggered by it and just ignore it and just stay in the wish fulfilled, and feel the joy, playfully pretend, as Neville says, and I just stayed there, and that everything would resolve. So you can do visualizations for everything, but I would have to say in the last 5 years, getting audited, that's probably been a really stressful thing, but and from my military career, it's, there's a whole lot more stressful things that I've been through that are, definitely more stressful than that. But that's how I was able to resolve that. And I hope that this helped. And if you have any more questions, or you want me to cover some other things, let me know. I really welcome the opportunity to share with you. That's why I'm here. I just wanted to be here to encourage and share what I've learned through the study and teaching of Neville Goddard, and highly recommend grabbing up one of these books and read it. Every time that I read it, it's transformative. There's different aspects of it that jump out at me, but just keep keep the feeling of your wish fulfilled constantly alive in your consciousness. Feel the joy, and it brings things to you. And just get into trust that everything always works out, and just stay there and get excited about it. And please like, share, and subscribe, and let me know if I've helped you. And please comment if you what else you would like for me to touch on. And I appreciate you, and thank you for being here with me. All right, love you guys, and thanks for hanging with me here in my office. I've got my military shirt behind me. Remember, everyone deployed. It's my Till Valhalla Project shirt. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you.